Hey everybody, this is Matt Luchenbill, once again coming to you from Metro Detroit in Michigan, and I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you all are getting a good start to your summer. Well, one of my favorite summertime activities is to go whitewater rafting. I don't get to do it every year, but I've got to do it several times, and one year I was out on the Ocoee River in Tennessee and did not have the greatest of guides. And so I'm going down the river and all of a sudden he ran into a rock and I went flying out of the back of the boat. And normally when that happens, I turn around, I reach back, I grab the boat, somebody helps me get back in and all is fine. But this time when I went and I saw the boat and I went to reach, I was going away from the boat and I turned and looked downriver and a wave came and smacked me right in the face. And I got out of that wave and I went to breathe and another one hit me. And probably 3, 4, 5, 6 waves hit me in the face and I was spitting and sputtering and all of a sudden I heard my name and the boat was right next to me again. I reached out, grabbed a hold of them, and this little tiny kid who is about half my size reaches down, grabs me out of the water, pulls me out of the water and pulls me right on top of him. And he just looks at me as I get back on the side of the boat. Everybody in the boat's looking at me with these big, wide eyes. And they were like, "We thought you were going to drown. We thought you were going to die." They actually told me when I got back up on the edge of the boat, I was coughing and sputtering and there was water coming out of my nose and my mouth and everywhere trying to get my breath back again. Those guys truly helped me. In one respect, they saved me so that I could continue to live. Have you ever felt like life just isn't working quite right? Have you ever felt like you needed to be saved? That something just didn't click in quite the right way? Well, our passage today hits on exactly why it is that we have that sense, that something's missing. In Ephesians chapter 2, verses 4 and 5, it says, "But God, being rich in mercy, because of the great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our trespasses, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved." This passage today reminds us that we are saved. What is it that we're saved from? Why do we need to be saved? As the passage starts off, it says we are dead in our sin. It means that we have rebelled against God, we have rejected him, we have lived life our own way. This happens in our thoughts and our words, our actions, our goals, our motives, and we've done it, and we are dead in our sin. We're always trying to fix it. We're always trying to do things to make ourselves feel better, to make life work right, and it just never quite works. Why is that? The passage says we're dead. And what have you ever seen a dead person do? That's right, a dead person can do absolutely nothing. That dead person, in order for them to become alive again, has to be saved. This passage has one of the greatest buts in the Bible. It starts off and it says, "But God, who is rich in mercy, has given us his love." How? Through Christ. Through Jesus coming to this earth, through his life, through his death on the cross, through his resurrection and being risen from the dead on the third day, he was made alive, and now he is making us alive, and he has saved us by his blood. So what is our response? First, our response is to simply give our lives wholly and completely to him and him alone, to not hold anything back. And secondly, as we read on in Ephesians chapter 2, we'll see that we were created for good works by the grace of God. Because of his grace, our response is to obey God and follow God. It doesn't help God love us anymore, and if we don't obey perfectly, God doesn't love us any less. But because we have been saved, we're called to live a life with good works. We're called to live a life that's holy and righteous, but that only happens by the grace and mercy of Jesus. So as you read this passage today, as you begin what I hope is an awesome summer, I want you to think about today, what does it mean that you are saved? That we were dead in our trespasses and sins, that God has rescued us, that God has saved us. Have a great day today.